everybody, Coach Colt and Coach Chrissy here to help you isolate those glutes. We're working on that full round shape. I'm going to cover the basics on how Taylor and I typically teach this one before turning it over to the pro to show you how it's really done. Cable kickbacks are best for female bodybuilding athletes, specifically the bikini category. Women bodybuilders, as well as men though, can benefit from the range of motion, deep stretch, and upper glute development that gets neglected if most of your leg work is centered around compound moves. The only equipment you will need is a low cable pulley and ankle straps. Gym Reapers makes a quality ankle strap. Check out the link in the video description for the ones that you see us using. Select a weight that you can pull for about 12 to 20 reps. You'll quickly find that it does not take very much. Simply align the hooks on your ankle straps forward, facing the pulley where you will affix the carabiner. Stand straight up facing the cable with a firm grip on the handles or a vertical support so you don't tip over. Hinge forward at the hips by contracting your spinal erectors in your lower back, the same muscles that you need to remember to engage on your back on bikini and other bodybuilding poses. Stand on your strong leg to balance while working your weak leg first. We'll start by getting as many reps as we can on the weak leg, followed by the exact same number of reps on the strong leg. This will assist in addressing and correcting muscle imbalances. Begin with your toes pointed forward. The starting position should feel like a Romanian deadlift where your glutes are fully stretched. Use your glutes to pull the cable backwards with a quick contraction. As you raise your foot behind you, rotate your legs so that your toes point away from your body. This is where you'll feel the squeeze in your upper glutes. After a quick pause, relax your glutes to slowly return your foot to the starting position. That works best for Taylor and me. However, we are all built differently, so your form does not have to look exactly the way that we do it. Chrissy Bowman is a ketogenic bikini athlete and postural therapist from LA. Chrissy, how do you teach cable kickbacks?
All right, single leg kickbacks. I'm going to walk you through how I do it at our gym. Keep in mind that everybody's anatomy is a little different, so you might have to make a few tweaks to that. But basically, you're going to need ankle straps. So for our cable machine, I lower it down to the very bottom, and then I make sure that I'm parallel with that cable machine. So I used 2 steps. And then in terms of weight selection, I like to go lighter for this exercise, at least for the beginning. And if I feel like I need to add weight, I do that usually second or third set. From there, I usually scoot the blocks back a little bit, so I have a little bit more leverage. If I'm too close, I don't get as much, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't get as much leverage. So I scoot back and hook up one ankle to the cable, and then from there, I'm going to extend back. But before I do that, I make sure that my torso's fairly bent over, so I have a neutral spine. A big compensation I see with this move is people tend to overarch their lower back and then kick through. So from the starting position, I'm bent over, and then I'm going to extend the leg back. Try to go at like a 45-degree angle, and I want to extend through my heel. So bend the knee and then extend all the way out, and then bring it back in. And during this time, I'm really focusing on the mind-muscle connection to the glute. And then I do the assigned reps for one side and then switch, and I'm going to repeat that on the other side. And that brings me to another point, like the standing leg. I try to keep a slight bend in that leg. We do have clients, like if you are typically weak in either the glutes or the hip stabilizers, like you're going to oftentimes feel the standing leg working sometimes more than the active leg. But keeping a bend in that knee should help to not overcompensate that leg.
Okay. So sometimes you'll use a low block and sometimes you'll use a bench. What's the purpose of the bench? What does that change?
The bench is just a different variation. So I'm just hitting it from a different angle. I can use the bench to lean my body onto it, to just extend back behind me from a different angle. I do like the on all fours glute extension to a diagonal. So it's similar to like hip adduction where you move the pulley up to get more range of motion.
Right.
So with the leg crossed back behind you, you have more range to extend.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So maybe play around with both variations, and then between the two of them. Cool.
Yeah, see which one like works better for your anatomy.
And that's how you do it, everybody. Thanks for watching. God bless, and keep it locked in here at Skullbellz TV for more hypertrophy training tutorials.